Welcome in everybody, and great to be back in the cockpit of the Cessna Citation once again. I got a lovely flight today from Sofia in Bulgaria. I'm going to be flying up north to Switzerland into a little place called Bern. Not the most popular or even most well-known airport, but certainly one of the most prettiest places in Europe, the Swiss Alps or near about. So we're here on the Citation platform ramp. As you can see, there's absolutely nobody around at the moment. We're currently halfway started. The co-pilot's already hopped on board. We've already downloaded our flight plans. We're all ready to start procedures. This will be a relatively long flight. I was expecting 2 hours maybe at the most, but we'll have to wait and see. As usual, welcome in. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. If you are new here, feel free to give this stream a thumbs up. So, flight plan has successfully loaded. We're expecting the Yoke to 3 Sierra departure for runway 09er. So there's runway 09er, the Yoke to 03 departure. We have that indeed, so we got the correct IRAC data for once. And for the arrival, the Will, 3 Whiskey, or in this case 3 Mike. Let's check if there is a 3 Mike. 3 Whiskey, no there isn't, so we've got 3 Mike and that is it. And then of course approach at discretion, performance, and we'll get this done relatively quickly. Let's just get refueled first before we go any further. So we've already got basics started other than the APU. Let me start the APU up and we'll get at least then a bit further in the checklist. Let's bring up the checklist, you can see it. So we have pre-flight procedures there, which is the checklist we need. Okay, doors will be open. Okay, we've got a roll control 2, hard left. Well, let's just fix that because we've only just spawned in. Well, we've only just come to the airport, so we can't really have any systems failed at the moment. Although that's a good thing to have noticed before takeoff, otherwise we would have undoubtedly crashed into the ground. Okay, let's sit back somewhere we wait. So let's crank that temperature down a little bit. Ground power can come off at the moment. I think we've got it disconnected. Aircraft doors, well, we'll do that in a second. Okay, weight and balance, so 430, flight level 430 with 2,400 of fuel, 2,400 kg, yeah, 236 of baggage, just the standard amounts really. You'll notice every stream the Citation uses the same amount of baggage, very, very peculiar. An awesome plane though to fly, an absolute pleasure, and 10 people on board, so quite full up today. We've got the full amount. They're quite heavy as well, as you can see. They these business people, they don't eat poorly, let's say like that. So we leave that as it is, and now we can close the doors. So this will be the pre-flight procedures. We do need to get our latest information. Let's just check who's available. So we've got Honeycomb, and it doesn't look like there's anybody else at this airport, which is a shame actually, because Sofia of course is, well, the capital, if not classed as one of the capitals of Bulgaria. I know there are a few places there that are considered the main ones, but yeah, very surprising. We're actually the only plane here as well. Still a relatively short there, taxi to runway 09er. Well, we'll have to go, obviously, I've already pre-planned it, so we've already gone Charlie and then Juliet and Bravo. Quick rotary test. I am back on the Yoke today, everybody, the Yoke and Throttle. The Honeycomb is going to serve me well. Okay, great. Let's just do the auxiliary pump and just cycle that brake at the same time. There we go. PFDs, FMS, all the flight been loaded. Let me just double check the performance. 43,000 feet. Transition altitude, I'll leave it as it is. And 9 people, so obviously again it's not registered somebody on the weight and balance. The easiest way to correct that would be, okay, it's gone off now, would simply be to just increase the weight. There's no way of actually guessing how much it wants you to put in every single time. And now it's gone. Give me a second to fix this, or at least find out where it is. Might not be that case, might not be my day. There it is. Performance initialization, so 9. Maybe one of the pilots. There we go. Just increase the pilot's weight a little bit. Pilot should really be on the right weight though, not overweight. Obviously they wouldn't be healthy enough to fly if they were. Okay, we do need 15 today. 15 degrees of flaps. It's looking like a high rotation speed there. We got VRs 117 and V2s 129. That'll be all the weight on board. Cruise 430, descent and landing. And of course, restrictions are 10,000 feet. We'll check the departure as well, but Ogata is pretty much straight up to 24. Cool. Lateral source has been selected. Let's do the LNAV and flight level change. The old 180 knots trick for flight level change there, so it's ready for departure. And the yaw dampers and max trims can come on. I wouldn't say that the flight level change is essential, as long as you're flying the plane correctly. You could probably just engage lateral navigation and vertical navigation, and it'll take over with absolutely no issues whatsoever. So we haven't got an automatic squawk code today. We're going to do our own trick 0322. Heading set to runway. It's already set to the runway pretty much, 09er. And we'll set the course. Okay, something is moving, I'm not sure what it is. Oh well, we'll leave it. Altitude select. We need to just check the chart a sec. Get the correct departure procedures. If anybody's ever flown an X-plane or with, well, at least tried to keep it semi-realistic, you'll know that the charts are essential. Just checking the QNH at the same time. 1025. LBSF. And we do need the airports as well. Looks like they haven't got a departure one, which is strange. They've got an arrival. Let's keep that open. The aerodrome charts. And as you can see, maybe not that one, the taxi aircraft parking. So we can just about see where we're going to be taxiing. So try and spin that round. It's not very clear, is it? Yeah, so it's not the clearest. They've not really got a ground chart, although it's a small one, to be honest. So we'll be having no issues getting around. Right, altitude, we'll do that in a sec. 1025. QNH there, so we put it on the back up first, and then we can stick it in here. Now we are a 2-pilot operated aircraft, so we'll probably do it on both sides for safety. And then we'll do the minimum, so 1,700 feet this airport is, which makes the minimums 2,760. Relatively high up compared to some of the other European airports, although we are going to be high heading into the Alps as well, or at least in that direction. And the co-pilots just to be proper. 1,760. Altitude select. Let's just put it straight up to. It's already at 60,000 for some odd reason. Let's put it straight down then to 43,000 feet. flight level 430. God, we must have turned it. That's bizarre. Why has it set it so high on the... Like, that must have been at 8,000 feet then. Right, 43,000 feet, finally. Minimums we've set. Okay, engine start procedure. So we should really have a look around the aircraft before we do this. I know there's nobody here. We'll be taking that left-hand turn as well. Wait for it to build at 10%. Introduce the fuel. Just give me a sec, everybody. I'm going to just change my throttle quadrant. I've got it on the 737s at the moment, but I need a GA throttle. As you can see, I left the packs on there for the cabin, and it's made absolutely zero difference to the start-ups of the engine. So it's not crucial to turn them off, although it will help, obviously, speed it up. I suppose if there's a fire or anything as well, it'll stop it coming into the cabin, so we best keep them off as well. So 60% has been reached. We'll go for a number 2 start or number 1. There we go. Introduce the fuel nice and early. Ground idle coming on high. You can set the taxi lights on now since we're ready to taxi out straight away. Cabin and cockpit packs coming back on. APU was down now to about 10,000 feet plus. Started the wrong way then, but sorry, the right way, but they didn't register it. It's not registering the engine starts. Engine bleed air is on low. Pressurization is normal. Well, it should be normal, 43,000 feet. Pitot, okay, flaps. Let's just do a quick flaps. 15 degrees. Okay. Pitch trim. It's not registering a few things on that chat list. I'm wondering if I have changed something on it. Just give me my automatic 6 back. Pitch trim is set. It seems to be wanting me to put the ticks in, or I need to get the co-pilot on and on. Again, I'll try and reset it off stream. Right, yoke and rudder control, so ailerons. For some reason the brakes are disengaging. Ailerons. Elevators there. And rudder, of course. We have speed brake handle. Is confirmed functional. Cool, we're ready to go. It's only taken a good 20 minutes. A lot longer than I wanted it to take. Today we are Citation Sierra X-Ray Zulu, so we'll give them a call out. Other than that, let them know we're traffic and takes into runway 09er. Sophia traffic, this is Citation Sierra X-Ray Zulu. We're going to be taxiing to runway 09er via Charlie, Juliet and Bravo. Interior master switch, normal. It's a nice airport, Sofia. It's nice and compact. Taxiways are very well built and very well labelled, as you can see. You will have no issues finding your way around this one. It's very easy to navigate, and it's got plenty of parking as well. Terminal parking and corporate jet parking. I'd actually say there's general aviation parking, but I don't really know where it is. It may be this section here, but that may be jets as well. But you'll likely find, you know, the smaller ones down here too. So finders, if you are watching or anybody else who is interested in this, is a obviously category 1, 2 and 3 runways. You can see there on the side, so it's fully equipped with all the necessary equipment there for every single type of landing. The category 3 being the most sophisticated of the landings by far. So we're going to go ahead and get prepared for takeoff. So we stick the strobes on, landing lights and takes lights off. Transponder to test and then altitude, back to the main frequency, and that's pretty much it. That's all that is required. Oh, we better stick on the emergency lights rather than putting them on. And we want a, I believe, a northeast or northwest departure. We're in Sofia, so we should be heading north, yeah, northwest. Sofia traffic, this is Citation, Sierra, X-Ray Zulu, departing runway 09 into the northwest. We have got a speed restriction, of course, which is probably going to be about 230 knots. Nice amount of wind there to the pushing us from the left. There's 80. As you can see, we're struggling to keep straight. There's V1 rotate. Gear coming up. Extremely steep there on the departure. Flaps to 5. We have engaged the autopilot. Reduce it to climb thrust. Keep the flaps slats retracted now. Nice smooth departure. We're going to accelerate to, well, we'll be accelerating quickly. We'll be going to 270 for the climb. So we can exceed 250 now, just about. All the slats and flaps are up. Transition altitude is about 12 or 13,000 there. I'm not surprised, it's a lovely and high place, this, full of mountains again. Brilliant views, absolutely brilliant in the Citation. It gives you, like, with these widened windows, I know they're quite small here, but in general you get a good view of a lot of things. There are a few blind spots, but it's still, I would say, one of the best cockpits on the simulator for sure. I mean, look at that. It's incredible. Okay, there's 10,000 feet. Landing lights are coming off, and well, we never had the seatbelt signs on account, so we're the VIP today. Have had a very special flight. 18 degrees in the cabin, that's fine. Not too warm for them. Okay, transition level, standard pressure on both sides, and on the I was already under the impression we could put it in there as well, but we can't. We have to change it manually. Cool, APU bleed air's coming off. Generators coming off just over in the right hand corner. You got a panel there by the co-pilot. Make sure you shut the APU down before you turn the master off, otherwise it will continue to run in the background. You see that, you're probably safe to turn it off when it's getting below 10 RPM on the master switch. And 18,000 feet fan sync, which we've reached. That's pretty much it. As you can see, it climbs extremely smoothly. We don't actually need flight level change now. We can click on vertical navigation, and that'll follow the computer's altitude and speed restrictions. So 270 is the climb for this aircraft. 300 being, I believe, the best rate of climb. And this will be the best angle or something like that. If you want specifics, you can always go and check on the Citation website. sick half bang on now because we're above 20,000 feet. And we're reduced to cruise when we're in the cruise, so I'm going to step away from the cockpit. I trust the Citation not to do anything while I'm away. And I'll be back when I've had a drink, so I'll see you in a few minutes. That's a beautiful, beautiful plane right there. Nice and tight in the cockpit and well built. Extremely well built. Minus 45, let's get the anti-ice on before we freeze to death. Or the plane freezes to death. Pressurization is looking pretty good. As you can see, they're pressurizing a little bit slow, but it's getting there. We can always increase it, so we increase it, it'll go to about 2,000 feet. I don't think that's very comfortable for people. Personally, you might get a few ear pops and things. If we just increase it there, perhaps. I mean, there's like a safety limit as well. You can't really ascend or descend too quickly, otherwise you will get sick. Got to bear that in mind. We have got Centre online, but I don't know if it's for us. It's called LGGG, so I'm going to give the VATSIM radar a quick check and see what's going on. Okay, LGGG is not us, but it's slightly further south of us. It's basically Athens radar in Greece. So we're currently over Sofia. We just left Sofia, Bulgaria, cruising above the clouds almost. And we'll be entering and crossing Serbia. Then we'll be flying over we won't go over Bosnia and Herzegovina. We only just skim the outskirts of it, and then we go over Croatia, Slovenia, Italy, and of course then we land in Switzerland in Bern. There's our cruise level of 43,000 feet. Reached it nice and efficiently. What a clear sky to be flying through today. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope you've all been enjoying the streams. If you've been watching Star Wars videos, you know, thanks. Are you enjoying them? Because there'll be more of them, of course. I'll be completing the game, and then I've been waiting for that Spider to come on sale, but it's still not on sale. So there are a lot of other games I can play in the meantime. Maybe another Star Wars one after. The one I'm playing at the moment is great, so we'll just keep doing that. And you know, I said I finished Suicide Squad, but it's difficult to finish it. To be honest, it's not as compelling as I thought it'd be. So anyway, we'll have to look. They just released Dying Light: The Beast. That's also very popular. It's also a great game, so maybe worth looking into when it's on sale too. Of course, if you want to see a specific one, which I'm interested in as well, let me know in the comments after the video rather than the stream. At least that way people can see your preferences too. So I'm gonna go mute, let everyone just chill out and enjoy the rest of the flight, and then I'll check in intermediately on the way and as we get there. Looks like it's time to jack in. We've got a depressurization situation going on. Rapid depressurization. So we're going to have to stick our oxygen mask on. Now we're going to have to stick the passenger oxygen mask on immediately. We're still blacking out with the oxygen mask on. We're going to have to start an emergency descent. Oh no. Why is it going wrong in this flight? Oh, sorry guys. Don't want to moan about it. Why are we depressurized? We have got to get down though, like, rapidly. There we go. So we've blacked out, we're going to push down on the controls. We have got our oxygen mask on. This does happen when depressurization happens. There we go. I thought it was odd though, we spawned in and we had an aileron control off, a control service completely broken. This is bizarre, isn't it? I mean, 10,000 hours and we've got a depressurization. It seems like it's too soon. I've got to do an outside view, otherwise I can't see anything. Idle the engines. We've got to be super careful in this situation. We have got oxygen on, that's why we're still talking. There we go, there's lights. We managed to get down now to about 30. We didn't even get that far. We got... Where do we get? Where are we now? We're over Croatia. Sorry, yeah, but that's Bosnia-Herzegovina. We haven't even gone that far. We've depressurized. Pax oxygen's on. I wonder, I don't know why we depressurized. I wonder what's caused it. We haven't got an emergency checklist either. We are going to have to keep descending. I've idled the engines. We'll just keep descending now. As low down as we can get. Oh, we got an alternate. We're going to have to make it. I think we're going to have to make a diversion. I really apologise about this, ladies and gentlemen on board. I know you paid a lot for your tickets, but as an emergency, we are depressurising rapidly. I thought it was very odd then that that would do that. I was honestly hoping it was going to be an engine failure or something. 35,000 feet, we've idled the engines to get down quick. We're going to go straight down to 9,000 feet. Let's just have a look at our... I have downloaded the chart. We're going to have a look at our alternate airport now. This is what you do in this sort of situation. See if we're near our alternates. So we need FMS plans. We're not descending as quickly as we should be. Well, we got the, like I say, the oxygen, so we can probably take it a bit slower than usual. I don't know where that's FMS things, custom data is it, or output. There it is. So let's check our alternates and find out where we may be going if it's close to us. Doesn't really look like it will be. I don't know why I've gone blind, everybody. I mean, I did usually can see the alternate stuff easily for me, but just today it's not working and my brain just not getting it properly. Probably the lack of oxygen. Manual flying at the moment, so we'd use the map around us to see where we are. Where did I just see Sarajevo, didn't I? So that's one we could have used. What's this? Banja Luka. The question is, can we fly to our destination with a rapid depressurization, because we'll have to be quite low down for it. Let's just stick the autopilot. keep the autopilot off, but keep on track. That's there, stick it back on and then we'll let it do the flight level change itself. We could do with ATC in the area. I have no idea where we could land. I mean, we got a few options. This one, I think this is our only option at the moment, so let's go ahead and tune that. We'll just land on the runway with the ILS to make it a little bit easier. Luca. Let's divert there. Citation 0 X-ray Zulu is divided into Luca due to cabin depressurization, descending now to flight level 090. Let's go ahead and enter it in. LQBK. Not popping up on the list. There it is. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. You gotta just delete the whole flight plan here. Order reports. And we got 6 pages of it. Oh no. No. Not doing that. So let's. Oh, we can't even deactivate it. We'll find it ourselves. We'll fly it manually. It's only there on the left of us anyway, so I did enter it in. Oh, hang on. Can't do it on that side. That side's broke as well. Seems to be a glitch when the citation comes up with that. You can't change it. So let's do that. That should give us a routing. Holding pretty steady though for the descent. Obviously that warning won't go off because we're depressurized, so yeah. And there's no way to repressurize at the moment. Let's just do cabin dump. I put the pressurized bleed air on high from the engines. Maybe a high from the cabin packs as well. Yeah, as you can see there, 2,000 feet. It's going down. Cabin dump's not done anything for it. This looks like it's a maintenance job for now. Can do one thing though. We can do that and stick it on there. Approach, arrival. Runway 17. Just going to do the ILS Zulu. It's coming up as 16 on there. We don't need to do an arrival because we haven't got one. hopefully that'll take us. I don't think it's done it. LQBK 17. Strange, you select 17 and then it comes up with runway 16. No idea. Anyway, let's stick LNAV on, let's get it in the right direction. Thank God there's no mountains. Hopefully the passengers are still alive. We'll have to do the procedures now as normal, so we're descending down. One has gone off now, we've reached a level where we can sufficiently breathe. We still need the oxygen for a little bit. What's the squawk code, everybody? If anybody's in chat, what is the squawk code for depressurization? Where you are, alternate could be Zagreb. Yeah, possibly travel buff or even split on the Croatian coast. Good question, actually. Do we have the land repressurize, then continue? Unfortunately, the problem is if we do. Like we've come down now and we're still not pressurizing. Oh yeah, we are, sorry, we are pressurizing. But the question is, you know, it's saying we're descending in the cabin, but the cabin altitude isn't, sorry, the cabin altitude isn't pressurizing. So if we land, we can't, I'm not explaining this very well, we can't fix it, in other words, unless the maintenance do it. I don't think it's going to be a quick job. We'll have to see what happens on the ground. Let's get landed and then we decide when we're a little bit further down. Good idea though to do that. Okay, we kept forgetting the checklist, so APU needs to come back on. We can probably continue to burn, I think. Just want to make sure we land now and get everybody checked over. I'm going to take my oxygen mask off. Leave the pack's oxygen on because they probably need supplemental oxygen. We'll figure it out when we get down. Okay, plane is all over, the autopilot's not being proper today. We descend ourselves, we're basically on downwind leg. 5 degrees of flaps. Standard landing procedures now, so we set minimums. I've idled the engines the entire time, and it just shows you how much speed this aircraft has descending like that, rapidly at least. Okay, 7700, thanks Travel Buff. Oh sorry, 7770. Let's go ahead and give that a quick score. Squawk. flaps to 15. That green ILS thing's going all over the place. It's like up and down, up and down. That's never happened in the 10,000 hours for failures, so potential glitch. Plane wasn't being flown erratically, I don't think. It was on autopilot and cruise. I see 7,700. Okay. This will give us a chance to refuel as well. Get some maintenance done and refuel at the same time. Such a smooth flyer, the Citation. I'm barely putting any like force on the controls, and it's just gliding nice and smooth into the approach there. We're still coming in at an angle. Gotta be mindful that we were pretty much actually in the headwind the whole time, but it's changed to a tailwind. We will have to reload the flight plan though from scratch, and then we'll go from the waypoint we got up to. Okay, alternate LSZH. Zurich. So Zurich's our alternate airport. The question is, could we get there in time with that depressurisation? Probably. Probably not. I think that's too far to go with it. Let's just check we've got all our lights on. Landing lights. Set the anti-ice off. Strobes, seatbelt signs, flaps are set. Yeah, Zagreb's there, so we're quite far from Zurich, unfortunately. Anyway, gear down. Keep having to check the name of the airport. Let's go autopilot on so we don't crash. And it wants to pitch up rapidly. Can't be a good thing. Even though it's below the glide slope, the plane shouldn't pitch up. It's extremely annoying when it does that. We'll keep the approach mode on so we know where it is anyway. Anyway, 4 flaps. Double check the name of this alternate, whatever it is, temporary airport, Banja Luka. Citation Sierra X-Ray Zulu is on the final approach 4.5 nautical miles to Banja Luka. I suppose the bad flying can't be answered, to be honest, that's my fault.
500.
Did turn your damper off, let's keep it off. There we go. Side of the engines. Got plenty of speed. Plenty of height, plenty of speed now to do this. It's a very small airport. I hope they got the facilities here. Yeah, they got airliners. They should have something available for us to get checked out. Hopefully one of the Cessna's maintenance is here. If not, we can just get it checked out and fixed by someone else.
300. Minimums.
Yeah, we'll continue.
Light slow. 100. Light slow.
Nice and slow.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Quite a high and hard landing there. And we deploy the reversers and the speed brakes. Awful landing. Strobes off. Packed up oxygen to automatic now. And let's just get in one of these spaces. We can shut the engines down, but we can't. We'll leave the APU running and we'll let them do their checks and things. Yeah, it's very scarce here, very scarce indeed. A few airliners, Ryanair. I know there are aircraft parked here, but we have no other choice. There's no other spaces, and I'm not going to taxi to where we haven't got maintenance. It's going to take longer. So let's just slide next to one of these. Perhaps in this gap here, so we're sort of wedged between two Ryanairs. There we go. Shut the engines down. We'll keep it in standby mode. Get your seatbelts fastened for now. Maybe you can stay on. Everybody just take a quick breather. I know I need the oxygen after that. And then we'll continue on to final destination. Zurich with the alternative Bern closed or fogged in. Emergency, go to nearest airport. Yeah, I suspected so. In this case it was this name, Banja Luka Airport, so thank goodness it existed. We're going to get a bit of maintenance now. We're going to take a quick breather. Please, everybody, have a quick break. Okay, everybody, I'm back into the cockpit. Thank you for bearing with me there. We spent a couple of hours there at our temporary airport while maintenance did its work. So I've got the reports. They fixed the aircraft. They said it was a bit of a minor issue, but it's been repaired. Apparently there was an issue with the air conditioning systems and the bleed air from the engines. There was a blockage in one of them, so prevented the air getting circulating into the cabin there. Very interesting. So now we can continue on to our destination. And hopefully we won't have any other issues. He did say be mindful that if we're going to continue the flight, which it is safe to do by the way he's cleared us, that we do need to take our cruise altitude into account. So let's go ahead and load our flight plan back in. What we're going to do is go straight from there. Oh, hang on, flight plan select. Oh, activate, that would help. Maybe do it on the co-pilot side. I always have a bit of trickiness with this FMC, especially getting the flight plans on and off these systems. So navigation flight plan. There we go. So it's activated. Now what we do is we just activate it from the point we're at. So we'll go from Gorpa. How handy is that? As I say, we didn't get very far in the flight plan before we had to divert. Right. All good. We're ready to get going. So let's get the strobes and let's get the beacons back on. Let's get the engines back on as well. We take it off on the other runway because the wind's coming from that way, so we'll take off and turn round. Cool, 60%, so first engine coming on. Should really follow his checklist as well. Let's squawk our code again. Oh blimey, I can't remember what it was. Was it 0322? I think it was something like that. Well, anyway, it's a random squawk code for the IFR. Let's get packs back on. Lead air on low. Let's get going. It was a very simple layover, to be honest. A few hours didn't really do much to us, morally at least. So 5 degrees of flaps. Let's get going. Landing lights on. Strobe's already on. Seatbelts, anti-ice. Angeluca traffic, Sierra, Citation Sierra X-ray Zulu is departing runway 35 to the northwest. Get rid of the checklist, we know it. Stable departure. And positive right gear coming up. Flaps and slats retracted. Okay, VDAVs are available probably because we're not on the first waypoint yet. And not the right altitude as well. Keep flight level change on until we get there. Landing lights. Seatbelts, anti-ice. And we turn the APU off early today. Hopefully with that diversion we should have enough fuel still to get there. It wasn't a particularly long one, it did about 10 minutes. No, it's strange, the VNAV's not engaging, so we'll figure it out somehow. If you check the pressurization now, it's actually coming up a little bit. There's 18,000 feet, so fancy's coming on. Fuel seems low though, doesn't it? 1,000 kg left out of 4,000. We've got another hour to go, I think. If only the actual departure from Sofia had been that smooth it goes. And we got obviously the map, we're over there, and then Zagreb over Croatia. Up north here to Switzerland. This will be Slovenia. we might as well plan the arrival while we're on the way, and then at least we've got the start procedures for the airport. It's a major one. So it's the Will 3 Whiskey runway 14. You see that burn tower. ILS 110.1. Let's tune it in nice and early. Right, no arrivals coming up, so we just got the approach procedures. Strange, there should be one for the airport. Anyway, got a few different ones. I got Romeo circling. I've never done one of those approaches. City circling. Just sit with the standard ILS on this one. We've tuned it in already. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's already given us the Will. Will must be the only arrival then into the airport. We got it there, 116.90 for the DME. I'll give it in, put it into the radios, nice. Navigation one's got the ILS, I'll put it in nav 2. There's another there's the ILS DB for the runway. There's the go-around procedures. The whole point. There's the Will. So maybe that's probably where we're coming in actually from that. It's sort of faded out. You can't see it. Anyway, maximum speed 170. It shouldn't be an issue for the citation. 4,000 feet there. 4,000 feet restrictions. I see, so we fly into this localizer from the Will arrival, and then we'll be taking that left-hand turn onto the ILS, glide slope runway, runway, can't even remember, 14. A few there, apparently this is a big major airport. And then a maximum speed of go round, which is 160. So it's going to be a bit. Actually, that is going to be a bit of a challenge for this aircraft, because it's, you know what it's like on a takeoff. It accelerates extremely quickly. That's odd. I thought we could get to the first waypoint there and engage the VNav. Doesn't seem to want to do it. Try and change it this way. Let's try and put 430 here. No, a lot of the functions on the aircraft aren't actually working, which is always it's always disappointing to find it. Great plane, of course, just a few things there in functionality which need to be, I think, updated. But I suspect by the time the X-Plane 13 comes out, they probably will. They'll probably fix all these things, hopefully. Fingers crossed. No news on the new one just yet. I mean, this one's been out, what's it now, 2022 is it? So a good 3 years. It'll probably be, I suspect, another two or 3 years before the next one. It depends what they're waiting for. It might be a technology thing, or it might be something else. There we have a fuel imbalance. We shouldn't really have landed it with that or took off with it. About 100, almost 100 pounds imbalance there. So we're going to stick the cross feeds. Well, in this case, the best way to do it, I'd say, is just the gravity X flow to the left wing, right wing, and that will level it out during level flight. Of course, don't use it when you're in a bank, otherwise it'll mess the systems up a little bit. Very stable though, very nice flight. The maintenance did a good job. I hope they didn't just put a bit of sticky tape over the hole, if you know what I mean. I hope they did a proper repair job there in the air conditioning system. Oh man, if you're all enjoying this, you know, it does mean a lot. It does mean good. It means a lot to have you here on a Friday as well. So next week I'll be releasing the schedule probably tomorrow or Sunday, and then you get an idea. But if you do have any more suggestions, you know, flights, things like that, then let me know. I think, actually, I've just remembered, next week we will be doing a brand new plane. It's not a new plane as in a payware aircraft, it's one of the default planes on X-Plane 12. It is an airliner. I've never properly flown it or understood it, so it's going to be a real challenge. Consider it a type rating on the plane, and that'll be next week. So, just looking at the plan now. Yeah. Again, Monday it's gonna. I love the fact that we got some really good flights in this month. The Air Force 11 was the standout so far. Obviously, the 737 to Para Bhutan was going to be the standout as well, but we crashed. Of course, we can do it again in the daytime and get it done. Special flight coming up on Wednesday again. Now I've left the new aircraft till Friday to give me a bit of time to learn it, and we'll be flying from Geneva again in Switzerland on that one, just because it's a short flight, so it'll give me time to understand the systems a bit better in depth than when we're in the actual, procedures. Okay, cool. We're zooming now. Sort of leveled off at 42,000 feet. This plane's not getting up to 43 like it was earlier. We are approaching Italy now. And up north is Austria. Lowy there, that's a very famous one, Innsbruck. Oh no, not Innsbruck, sorry. What is that? Klagenfurt. Certainly looks like Innsbruck, very similar in Austria, and then Switzerland's our destination. Even with full thrust, it's not climbing anymore. As you can see there, 270 as usual climb speed. We're leveled off. Maybe because we're not selected that. The only way to actually climb now would be to decrease the speed. There we go, by a few knots. There we go, that's simple. It's pushed us up to 43,000 feet. And we'll increase it back to 9.1 in a sec. Okay, I'm not sure whether it maintains speed-wise because we've not got vertical navigation speed on there. It was cool that it popped up just a moment ago. Yeah, like I said, there are a few things here that can be improved significantly by Laminar research, notably having a proper functioning vertical navigation. This message should be able to be cleared. You should be able to get rid of that, but it's not removable. As you can see, the Cobalt doesn't have it on this side. It's just exclusively to the side where you cancel the flight plan. So it has the altitude tuned in to the flight. It should be able to capture the speed requirements as well. It's not long till the descent anyway. Argak. Oh wow. Get a super view from this angle. Look at that. Look at that, man. That is incredible. Not every day you see the mountains from the window like this. They're going to be at least 15,000 feet high. Oh man, that detail there. How odd. Or doing outside view and there's just a random plane, FedEx, parked in the middle of nowhere. Oh wow, we probably could do with an aircraft like that for a cargo flight. But yeah, grass strip takeoff, how imaginative. Oh wow, we're going over a military base, again a cool shot from the ground. We don't really see this from the cockpit. All these fighters, we'll have to fly in one of these fighters and do a bit of a Top Gun video too. Although to be fair, these ones are pretty bad. We're better off in the F-16. There we go. Somewhere, zoom in. Bolzano, Trent. It's such a small country as well. We got obviously Italy's huge compared to Austria, and then Austria's huge compared to Switzerland. But Switzerland makes up with it because it's got a lot of rich people. It's got some of the best chocolate in the world, as you know. It's also one of the most expensive places in the world. I don't know if you know that, but places like Zurich, especially, you know, they're really like price points are super high. Just for a coffee, it's like £5 in British pounds. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know. That explains why the locals flying in a Citation jet. They can afford to go out in one every day. They probably go to shops in the citation. And I actually, strangely, I didn't even know this, but the capital of Switzerland is Bern. So we're actually flying to the capital. That's very cool. It's the federal city. I'm just looking on Wikipedia. It's a great source of info. 146,000 people. It's the fifth most populous city in Switzerland, behind Zurich. Right, he's saying it's the de facto capital of Switzerland. That's interesting. I think most people, including me, probably thought it was Zurich. Be good to see a daytime para one again. Yeah, it would be travel buffing. You know, I do apologise to you and to everyone else for that crash. That was so stupid of me to have gone into that airport at night, knowing very well that it wasn't possible. To be fair, the approach was great. I love the coming in because you can feel the oh, we got ATC. You can feel the mountains around you. It's almost like Innsbruck at night, but we'll do it again in the day, I promise. Probably be next week. I'll slip it in, or maybe this weekend I'll slip it in on a Saturday or a Sunday. That was probably Aviano, a joint US and Italian military airbase. You're right, travel buff. There it is. I guess the question actually, travel buff, should we go, is it worth me flying from Varanasi, India again? That was a pretty good destination, I thought. It was relatively close to where we needed to get to. Okay, 120-725. Thank goodness ATC's online. It's lit.
Condor 6 Hotel Whiskey, Padua radar identified. Clear the direct Sulux. Direct Sulux. Condor 6 Hotel Whiskey. Padua good evening, schedule 213 for that Delta 370 inbound tactics. Unless a correction. Ciao Sky Travel 2134, Padua radar identified, clear direct PDAP, correction, continue direct PDAP. Continue PDAP, schedule 214. Padua for radar, good afternoon, Speaker 530, Papa final 390 inbound heaven. Ciao Speedbird 530 Papa, Padua radar identified.
I don't know what radar that is, but Lip Center, I'm not sure where that is. There's Lip V.
7886, Padua radar identified, clear the direct Nikma. Direct Nikma, Eurowing 7886. Roger, runway 808, level 340. Last is calling, call sign again. Runway 8008. Runway 8008, Padua radar identified.
Oh, it's Padova.
Swak 80.
Yeah, and today I space without port 11. That's fine.
0271. 0271, runway 808. Runway 8008, confirm you're descending flight level 330. Roger, descend flight level 330. Descend flight level 330, runway 8008.
Good over radar, citation Sierra X-ray Zulu, with you, flight level 430.
Ciao Charlie, Sierra X-ray Zulu, Padua radar, swak 1000.
Squawk 1000, Citation Sierra X-ray Zulu. Cool, we got a squawk code now.
Pardon, hello, Iberia 07 Bravo Whiskey 360. Cioè Iberia 07 Bravo Whiskey, Padova radar identified, SWAC 0273, climb flight level 370. 0273 and climb 370, Iberia 07 Bravo Whiskey.
Grazie, good evening, PV 124 e convoi, livello di volo 090, prossima discesa a 6.000.
Ciao Papa Victor India 124, Padova radar identificati, autorizzati al BET2 con arrivo strumentali,
Cheers, find us.
LSZB, pista 04 destra, scenda a 5.000 piedi, QNH 1019.
Scendo a 5.000 piedi con 019, corretto, 19.
I'll go from Varanasi again.
India
Let's just turn this
124,
down a little bit.
1019.
Oh, corretto, 1019, aspetta ILS 04, right.
Blimey, that radio is super loud.
Charlie Sierra X-ray Zulu, descend flight level 300.
Descending flight level 300, Charlie Sierra X-ray Zulu. Okay, cool, we're cleared now to descend, nice and early. I love it when radar comes online, so great.
Cebere 07 Golf Papa, Padova radar identified. SOC 0253. 0253, Iberia 07 Golf Papa.
Buonasera Padova, we fly 6126 in Mount Ostrega, level 360.
Last station confirm call sign.
E-fly, Echo Fox Lima Yankee, E-fly 6126.
Charlie fly 6126, Padova identified, SWAC 5167.
Squawk 5167, E-fly 6126.
Conrad 6 Hotel Whiskey, request descent.
Busy as well.
Condor 6 Hotel Whiskey, descend flight level 300, correction, yes, 300 to be left.
Remember now there's no volume control in this aircraft.
Condor 6 Hotel Whiskey. Charlie Sierra X-ray Zulu, monitor advisory 122.8, ciao.
122.8, thank you very much, Charlie Sierra X-ray Zulu. Cool, back to Unicom everybody.
Good afternoon, Smartlinks 1547.
He's very kind to pass us off to flight level 300. Probably a more suitable altitude, to be honest, given our previous emergency landing. It's a shame we only had ATC for that amount of time, but oh well, it was nice while it lasted. We are pretty much inbound now for the descent. We only have, yeah, Arguk. We've still got to descend by Arguk, so nice and early. Descending there quite rapidly, as you can see. Actually, we're going extremely fast. Probably need to slow down a bit. Yeah, as you can see there, we just left his airspace. We've now entered officially the Swiss airspace. So our airport should be on the map somewhere. We don't need to focus on it too much. We are clear of the mountains for now. We're going to be landing, so we are sort of in the Swiss Alps. And then we'll be coming down. It's such a beautiful place, you know, to descend over these things. It's a shame there's too many clouds, but we will see them as we come down for final. So we might as well double check the arrival. We're going to be coming in from that direction on the Will 3 Whiskey down to the Burkeye DME localizer, and then taking that left hand turn to the final glide slope for runway 14. Restrictions is 4,000 feet with a speed limit of 170. We'll keep that in mind. Speed limit is unrestricted until that point. I suspect it'll be about 250 knots though, because we'll be below 10,000 feet. Let's just slow down a little bit. And on the, obviously the flight plan 6,000 feet and 4,000 by Burkeye, so you can see it's already registered in there, but the approach isn't, so we'll put that in now. Arrival. Well, we've got the ILS tuned in by Burkeye, Will 3M. Arrival. So as you can see, Burkeye, and then it will give us there's two Burkeye there, but that's the right one. Down to the final, and then runway. We are finders. We had a tricky start actually. We got up to the flight cruise level. Everything was going smoothly, and then we depressurized, so we had to make a emergency landing. Okay, there's the fuel warning. We made the mistake of departing as well without refueling. Again, that's a pilot error rather than an aircraft error. Also the emergency lights. I kept them on just so we could see the cabin lights light up. They do in fact work, but it's better to see them at night. Anyway, iOS, we're going to do a little bit of a magic trick now. 119 each. Let's wait a little bit longer before we do the in-air refuel. I think we can probably make it from this point. Bern's not that far. There's Zurich. Our next descent point, we're going down straight down, I think 15,000 feet. Yeah, about 15,000 feet there when we intercept the arrival. We want Lima Sierra Zulu Bravo for the west waypoint. There's Will. Let's tune that in while we can to nav 1. Sorry, nav 2. I think it's already tuned in though, because I did it manually before using the charts. There it is, Bern-Belp. So as you can see, we fly to the Will, and this corresponds with what we saw on the chart. If we switch it to IFR, that's not very good, is it? We fly from there, go across, intercept it, and then come down for final. And the airport's actually looking pretty good. It's got nice small parking spaces. Go back onto the charts. We don't need this anymore. We know what the procedures are at this point. So we go back to airport. We just look at the ground. We can pre-plan our arrival to the T. Make sure we're perfecto. So sector green, sector blue. Anyone got any preferences for colours? We can always park in green if it's your favourite, or if blue is, we can go there, or that's mostly helicopters by the look of it, or even in the hangar there, fuel tower, terminal, maintenance might be a good one, because we need a full check now. We need like I can't remember the name of it, but we need a full check. It won't be a type C, that's for sure, but it'll be a more in-depth than line maintenance. So hopefully we'll be getting off the runway by either Bravo or Charlie, and then we take that taxiway there. Taxiway Kilo. Okay, landing speed 123 for the VAP. Slightly different to what we got programmed there. And maybe because we've reloaded the flight plan, so that what we have here may be the initial landing speed. What we have here is Probably because we lost so much fuel. I think we can make it. You know, we're supposed to be descending by now, so we should be able to. Of course, VNAV doesn't work. I forgot about that, so it's all manual in terms of flight level change. Reduce it to about 45 to 50%. Nice and bumpy, isn't it? Let's get the seatbelts on early because of the turbulence. Descending extremely quickly. Okay, time to program the arrival. So we've already done it on the FMC, we've already checked and we know it's runway 14. We're going to turn our head into runway 14, so whatever it was on the chart. Usually one or 2 points off what it actually is. Burn traffic, this is Citation Sierra X-ray Zulu. We're descending now to flight level 150 on the Will Free Mike arrival to runway 14. As far as I'm aware, there's no ATC in the area. I'm pretty sure there isn't, otherwise they would have given us a suspected message by now. We only had LIP with over radar, and no ATC, no ACE information at the moment. Okay, transition level 6,000 feet, QNH 1018. Extremely bumpy this is. Whoa. Oh god. I don't know how pilots manage this kind of turbulence, it's bloody awful. Okay, now we're down a little bit more. Let's set the pressure, the bleed air from the engines back to low. Okay, just about did that. We can set that. The engine sync should be off. APU coming back on. But we're probably going to burn all the fuel we have by doing this. I mean, even if we run out of fuel and the engines fail, the good news is we're pretty much there, so we can just land. Anyway, 94 kg. Will we make it in time? Do we want to risk it? Let's put some in the center. Let's put 100 in the center. Just to be on the safe side. And for some reason it'll just drain right back out. See, it's already drained back out there into both wings. Very efficient plane. Anyway, generators on. Maximum bleed air. We do need to descend 4,000 feet. Now we can really start to prepare for our approach. Welcome in everybody. If you're just joining, we're about to land in Bern, the de facto capital of Switzerland. Landing lights on. Slats and 5 notches of flat, so we're doing it extremely fast, extremely overspeeding today, so because we've lost control of our vertical navigation. You see, if you want to know what happened, just go back to about halfway into the flight and you'll be able to see. Awful weather. It's almost like snow. That's something else I keep forgetting about. We are going to be approaching winter soon, and I cannot wait. I really cannot wait to be doing flights in the snow in this plane and in the 737. You know, it's a great game as it is, minus the approach, minus a few things. Anyway, approach is coming on. For some reason the pink line has disappeared and we've got a white line. We don't really want to be following the pink line. Why is it doing that? How peculiar. At least I'll give us time to get down to 4,000 feet. Seems like it's another one of those approaches where we got to do a 360. Back into the final approach, which is quite usual in this game, or even in the flights that we do. Not awful. Well, not too awful. But we know when we get off the plane, it's going to be freezing. Let's go ahead and set the local pressure of 1018. I think it's just because it's been put in twice that it's doing the loop. It doesn't matter. It gave us time to descend there, which is a little bit better than usual. Let's go ahead and give them a call. Let them know we're on the final now. Bern traffic, this is Citation Sierra X-ray Zulu. We are turning on to final runway 14. There's no traffic in the air. Well, there's one plane in the area, but there's no traffic at the airport. Amazing view if we can get it. Okay, I have got approach mode selected, and it's following a combination of approach and the flight navigation that we've got programmed in. We're all ready to land. We've got landing lights, flaps of 5, APU's on, and it's running well. Aircraft didn't depressurize there for a second time. Minimums, yes. Flaps coming down to 15. You can see the runway right ahead of us. Pre-programmed on the approach switch. Speed less than 210. Looks like it's going to be a clean approach, this is. And wind-wise, wind is not too bad, it's just the rain I'm concerned about. Obviously, we get lower down and we get, you know, we might get a bit of wind shear. It's always a risk. Although unlikely in this kind of visibility. Flaps 15. 9 nautical mile final. We know the rest of the checklist, so we're going to do. It'll be autopilot and your damp coming off at about 1,000 feet. Let's double check the altitude of the airport. 1,600, it's about 2,600 feet. We'll turn it off. Gear down. 3 green lights. Flaps 35. Reference speed is pre-programmed in, as you can see down there. About 123. And that A piece as well, that's a good reference to keep your eye on too. Autopilot coming off. A little bit short runway there, so for it to be a little bit longer. Can already see the end of it.
300.
Looks great though. Little places like this are just always great. Anyway, minimums, we continue. Steep approach at this airport.
100.
Idle the engines.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes, reversers. Probably need full reversers on this one. Yeah. Extremely short. It reminds me of Guernsey Airport. Spoilers retracted, flaps retracted. We didn't take those other taxiways off like I thought we would, so we take Foxtrot. Extremely slippy as well. I suspect that's going to have caused us to slip a little bit. or we skid possibly when we touch down. Landing lights off, taxi lights. Just taxi off the runway. So when you get off, it'll be this yellow thing with two yellow patterns, and with a yellow pattern on either side, that tells you you're clear of the runway, and that's the holding point. Stand by on the transponder. I don't know why we turned seatbelt signs off. APU is already on. Well, I hope everyone's brought their umbrellas. I hope you're getting picked up by limousines and things. Oh, there's the hangar. It looks like it's occupied by GA. So it is a GA aircraft like I suspected. Maintenance was down here, wasn't it? Down around Kilo. Get taxi into maintenance. Of course, in conditions like this, you can't really exceed 15 knots, although I always say slower is better because it's picked up quite a bit. EasyJet's arrived here. Someone in the Cirrus. As I say, Switzerland's one of the most expensive countries in Europe, and Zurich being the most expensive in the world, probably after places like Singapore. Ah, look at that, they've even got a grid. You rarely see that nowadays, because I don't barely see them, but grid on the taxiway there to drain. Oh wow, look at that. Those reflections in the water and everything. Magical. Right, there's air front in that space, we'll go here. This looks like it's more appropriate for a jet out of our size anyway. Yankee 2. Okay, I've gone past it. Blimey. Didn't realise they were going to be light. It reminds me of French airports. There was one I went, I think it was Rouen Airport. It's very similar in style to this. Not bad on the parking. Let's hope everyone had a nice flight. We'll do a full shutdown, why not? Cool. Cool. So there we are, everybody. We're parked up. Let's go ahead and watch the replay. Before we do watch the replay, what I'll do is I'll land it here, but I'll let you watch it. I'll land in from a third-person point of view. Good flight. Nice little parking spot there at the end. Again, looking forward to those winter flights when we got a bit of snow coming into the scenery and things. So yeah, as usual, thanks very much for being here. I will be back probably on Monday. If not, maybe Sunday for that flight to Parabutan from Varanasi. We do want to get it done in the daytime, so I'll try and, if I have to, I'll change the weather and time to light and day, if that makes sense, so we don't have to worry about landing in the pitch black again. Just wait for the replay to load up. The flight was originally meant to take 2.5 hours as well. Okay, major lag here. Ended up taking... Yeah, we're lagging. I think we may crash. Like, the whole computer's frozen. I don't know if you can hear me or not, anybody, but things have gone wrong on it. No. Oh my god. It's a good flight, and then it's working. Back on it. Not ended the stream, has it?